Congrats to Coach Hurley and UConn. They did a heck of a job making us pay every time that they got offensive rebounds, loose balls, and then, I thought the way that they executed their off-ball screening action. We did a nice job early on in the game with it, but as the game went on, and especially early in the second half, they really did a good job, creating opportunities. Our guys fought. Oso's a warrior. Stevie's a warrior. Cam tried his butt off, to be the point guard, and he made a lot of really good plays. But, right now with who we have, we've got to play a little bit different than, when Tyler's playing. And I thought we got away from who we needed to be on the offensive end, particularly for that stretch during the first half when they extended their lead. But ton of credit to UConn. They don't get enough credit for the culture that they have. Everyone talks about all the basketball stuff and the guys they have, but they have. That's a championship culture in terms of the way they act, interact, and respond on the court. So for us, I think learning, growing. I told the guys in the locker room afterwards, the real way to honor your seniors is what happens after senior night, the rest of the season. So we're excited about that.
With all that off-ball movement and cutting that they do, does that lead to some of those second-chance points? Are you, out of position for offensive rebounds?
It can get you out of position, but I think what led to the offensive rebounds for them was just scrapping them out. They have a way of going with a variety of guys. Obviously, they've got the tallest guy on the court with Klingon, but it's not even so much the ones he gets because those are expected. But they do a good job with Castle and Spencer and Tristan Newton and, different guys on their team just flying in there. And so you have to have every single guy on your defensive end take care of his assignment of hitting someone and then going to grab the ball. And, there were times where most of our guys did it. And then there was just some loose balls. It was one of those games where I don't think the loose balls were a lack of effort. There were 3 or 4 that went their way. Certainly great effort on their part. But there's games like that. And we're going to watch this tape, and there's going to be a lot of things we see that, man, if we could, have that play back, if we could do this a little bit better, if we could attack with this angle on offense. And so, that doesn't change this result, but we certainly can learn.
Stevie Mitchell, I don't know if he even came off the floor tonight. 9 rebounds, seems to always be in the right place at the right time. How big of a factor is he for the team, especially on an energy level?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's the guy that if everyone had his level of fight, then we would never lose. But there's only one of him. And, defensively, this was one of those games where you'd like to have Stevie on Newton. You'd like to have Stevie on Spencer. You'd like to have Stevie on Castle. And he's only one person, so you can't put him on all those different guys. So, we've got to keep getting better with everyone else.
You had 8 assists to 9 turnovers tonight. Just UConn defensively, will they do a good job of in terms of getting in your passing lanes and disrupting your offense? I know there's no Kolak, but still.
I thought they did a great job just being aggressive on the cutting that we did have. At the same time, we did a poor job in the first half with our cutting. We stopped after one cut, and we expected one action to work for us. And I told the guys in the locker room, you have to keep going. You have to keep moving. Was better at times in the second half. I thought Job got more aggressive in the second half. But UConn, they take pride in defense, and they did a good job. Klingon is a load around the basket. He did a nice job of kind of clogging up the lane. Obviously had, some blocks, but he changed a lot of shots too. I thought we had the lob a few times, but we didn't throw it. And, Tyler's not out there to throw it. But I told Cam, I said, man, you gotta throw that thing. But the last 2 games we've asked Cam to do something that, he really hasn't practiced since he's been here. And, he's done some really good things, and I think he's going to keep improving.
Chase only played 19 minutes. I know he was sick earlier this week. Was it just that, or was there something else?
Yeah, he didn't look like himself. He was really, really sick, and, maybe a day or 2 behind Oso with the progression of that. Was feeling a lot better as of today, but he had lost some weight, and he just didn't have the same energy that he normally has. So hopefully as we get to our next game, he'll be more himself.
That first game in Hartford, they kind of pulled away in the first half and just kept going in the second half. This time they had a run at the end of the first half, but you guys fought back. What'd you like about your team's fight today, even without Tyler?
I liked Stevie's being Stevie. I thought Oso, you could tell he was playing that I'm going to go attack on my senior night. I'm going to make things happen, and I thought he did. Trey Norman was very good. I liked the competitive fire in his eyes. That's the guy we recruited. He played with no fear, and as a coach, you're always looking for little things you can take out of games that guys can build on, and so ironically, even though this is a loss, this was a high level game, and Trey looked like he belonged. And so I think that's something that he can get better from. Our guys stayed together. The huddles were very good. They believed. We just didn't execute a lot of things we need to do well enough to beat a team like UConn. And that, again, the credit for that goes to Coach Hurley and his team and his staff. I said this last time. The most impressive thing about those guys is they don't have any entitlement. And that is very, very rare for a team that's had as much success as they've had this year and obviously last year.
I know there's a lot of season left, but this being Oso's senior night, just the last 3 years of working with him, what do you appreciate most about Oso?
He's the best leader I've ever coached. He's the most unselfish, great player I've ever coached. And as a basketball player, he's the most unique guy I've ever coached, just a combination of things that he brings to the table. I told him last night at our senior dinner, I wish you knew how successful that you're going to be. I don't think he all the way knows it yet, but the guy's going to be he's going to be one of those people that, we at Marquette, not just as a basketball player, but as a university, we look at him and we say that's one of the best people to ever come through these doors. And it's obviously really tough timing that Tyler wasn't able to play. It's kind of cruel, for him. But we're big on controlling what you can control, and the most important games we have are still coming up. So hopefully we can get him healthy for that. Thank you.